Where have all the flowers gone? Well, I think they're all in my craft room. At least a lot of them are. Hello, survivors, hi family and friends. This is Roy from Bootsy Sweetheart's Guide to Life and Other Disappointing Experiences with another flower, crochet flower motif. This is a 5-petal flower, easy to make, fun to use, and very versatile. Stay with me and see how I made this flower. Well, I'm ready to have some fun. I hope you are. Just a little back up and review quickly. We did one flower in 5 petals once before, and I'll put the link to that video in the description box. And basically this is what it looks like. And if you recall, they were a chain of 5 or 6, depending on your style and how much tension and the size of the yarn. Then we chained 3 attached with a slip stitch, chained 3 attached with a slip stitch, say that 20 times. And then when we've had our 5 loops, we went back in and we put just 5 single crochets over those loops. So I don't know how well this shows up. I'll see if I can. Ooh, that was my chair, not my bones. I don't know if you can see the 5. They're actually loops that go over the chain 3 loops. And these were pretty. Excuse me. These were pretty. There's a lot you can do with them. Here's a big chunky one. We like that one. Right? 5 petals. Here's a tiny one. I like this one. Look at how small that is. Pretty. Then all different size hooks and different size yarns. And you can use the same hook for a couple of weight yarns, and it comes out different sizes. Because the key to all of what I'm doing here is variety. We want to make bouquets of flowers. You can't have all one flower. So on my playlist as we go along, it's going to be a long playlist eventually. Every time I think of a flower or I want to reproduce someone else's, we'll add it to it. Here's 5 petal with the 3 chain loops and the 5 crochets, single crochets in the middle, and I just put a bead in each hole. That's why I like this particular flower. Look at how pretty this one is. I used another one similar to this on a bag that I made. That's somewhere in my repertoire. Now this is the same flower pattern. This is what I'm talking about, variety. This is the same exact flower pattern as this. Smaller hook, but I wrapped yarn around the middle where they come together, where they're anchored down, and it gave the petals a little more definition, and this turned out really nice. I like that. But today what we're going to do is make a 5-petal solid flower. There are not any loops here, and this is very, very simple and fun to make. Here's one in pink. Isn't that pretty? This, I can't seem to get the color right. Actually, maybe no. All right. Now here is one. This was this yarn, and this was this yarn. Here's one with thinner yarn and a smaller hook. And I'll show you what I did here on one of the samples that we'll make. This is regular crochet yarn, thread with a small hook, That's delicate. And what's nice about things like this is for variety you can stack them and you get really nice looking flowers with very, very few stitches that you have to know, or not a lot of counting. And my latest victory was taking this hook. Ooh. Can't even see the hook hardly. Wonder, can we get the blackboard back again? This teensy little hook and some regular sewing thread, and I made a teensy tiny flower. So now I have a lot of opportunities for variety, and I'm only using two types of flowers. And as we go along here, I'll show you where you can stop in the middle and create another little motif. So before we get started, let me just do my diagrams, because I am a graphic learner. I learn visually, just easier for me. Now let me show you, if you remember my chart making from other videos. We're going to make a chain circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I usually do 5. On some of these I did 6. And of course you join these. These get joined. But for the sake of the diagram, I'm leaving them separate to give me more space. Just like the other flower, we're going to start with a chain 3. This counts as 1 double crochet. Then we're going to create 1, and by the way this looks is not accurate. It actually goes around the chain, so if I make this more solid, you don't go into the chain stitches, you go around the chain stitches. Then we're going to have a double crochet, another double crochet, and another chain 3, and we're attaching this chain 3 here with a slip stitch. Now that's 1 petal. Then we just move right over and do another chain 3, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, another chain 3, attach it here, and here's the second petal, and so on until we have our 5 petals. It's misleading to see these lined up this way, so I'll try to color it all in. And then you get the 5 petals, slip stitch into the circle, and cut the yarn, and you're ready to go. You're done. So let's get started. Okay, are we ready for the second time? What you don't know is I just went through a half hour of videoing without hitting start recording. This is my downward camera, which I've got kind of close. So let's get started again. Oh my, I tell you. Oh, it's a terrible thing to lose. So, getting started. We are going to start with a chain 6. I would normally start with a chain 5. I don't know why, just that's what I do. But I'm giving you the directions that I've seen. I'm just adjusting it a little. 1 chain, 2 chains, 3 chains, 4, 5, 6. By the way, this is an I9 5.5 millimeter hook. I get a lot of my yarn from either thrift stores, yard sales, or generous people who are cleaning out their stash. And so I don't know exactly what the yarn is. This yarn is a pretty normal, like Lion Brand or Red Heart acrylic yarn, so it's very common. Now what I'm going to do is go through the, now see, that's a very big hole there, the very big stitch, but that's okay. I'm going to go through that stitch, that chain, and I'm going to pull the yarn through to make a circle. Now, as I had mentioned, we're going to be working around that circle, not into the stitches. So we're going to go through this circle. You know, if you're an experienced crocheter, please just have fun. Chain 1, chain 2, chain 3. That's the height of a double crochet. 1 double crochet is yarn over, go through the center of the circle, pull up a loop, go through those first 2 loops, go through the second 2 loops. That's our first double crochet. Second double crochet, same exact thing. It's very therapeutic. There's a rhythm that you get. You can see this yarn is starting to split. It's really not the most expensive yarn. So just be careful with that. So now we have 2 double crochets, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Anchor that with a slip stitch. Now, doesn't this look like a flower petal? No. But because we went around that circle, we can pull that last slip stitch around and tighten up all the stitches in the circle. I need a long tail here, so I didn't cut it, and I didn't crochet around it. So that's petal number 1. Petal number 2, 1, 2, 3, chain 3. We're going to do 2 double crochets, yarn over, go through the circle, 1, pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn over, go through the circle, bring up a loop, 1, 2, and chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Anchor that chain 3 down through the circle and do a slip stitch. Now you can stop here, and I'll show you why in a minute. Now you see the advantage of a magic circle. If you made a magic circle, which I don't use a lot because I like this, the hole in the middle I like to put beads and buttons and things in. You can do it with the magic circle. It's just that to me it's easier to crochet around the chain 6. Now what I did over here is I took some floss weight yarn. Actually, this I think is the kind of yarn you use for friendship bracelets. And I made what looks like a leaf pattern. So I'll have leaves for my little bouquet. Okay, now we do petal number 3. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Double crochet, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn over, go through the circle, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, 1, 2, 3. Now do you see the rhythm that develops? It's really a fun, therapeutic kind of activity. And then again, I'm going to pull around to keep that hole, that circle, evident and really visible. Now, you can stop here. You can have 3 petals instead of 5. And that comes in handy. Let's say you want to have leaves behind. You know how oh, I forgot the part of the flower that comes up. Oh my goodness. Never mind. So you take another one of your flowers and stack it. And now you have another motif. Flowers with leaves. And don't forget we have our other leaves here. Can you see the circle in here? But if you're going to glue this down or sew it down, that circle disappears. So you could stop at the 3. Pretty. But we're not. We're going to move on. And I'll finish up these 2 petals that are remaining. I'll talk you through it. 1, chain 3, double crochet, double crochet. Be careful that that yarn doesn't, you don't put the hook through the split. Double crochet. 1, 2, 3. Oh, anchor that. Now we have a 4-petal flower. And you can stop there if you want. And here's another 4-petal flower. And when you start mixing and matching, they look like completely different flowers. And you get that variety that I was talking about. Ooh, it's a pretty color combination too. I'm having a little technical issue with color and shading. My skin looks, besides looking old, he's a 73-year-old Hans. I have a ruddy complexion and it's really driving the exposure crazy. Anyway, there's a 4-petal flower that to add to your repertoire. And now I'm going to finish up with the last petal. And that's 1. Oh, let me stop. Let me stop. I had this loop just a little too big when I started, and it would have really been visible on these flowers. So I'm going to make sure that that first loop isn't tight on the hook, but it's about the diameter, the circumference of the hook, with a little bit to spare. I don't know how to explain that except for you to see that you go up. Don't judge the circle by the loop, by this part of the hook. It's very narrow there, you see. You want to go up to the shank of the hook. So 1, 2, 3, and 1, go through and go through and chain 3, and we're done. 2, 3. I'm evening them out, spreading them out, make them equal. Now here you just do the slip stitch. Just do the regular slip stitch, attach it to the circle, pull out the yarn, snip, and we are done with the crocheting part. Now what I would normally do, like any crochet, you want to block it. I usually just hit it with a steam iron, not touch it, just with the steam. Oh, I forgot something. Let me show you this. Hold off, don't go anywhere. These are 2 identical, these are 2 3-petal flowers. A lot of directions that you're going to read will tell you to put 3 double crochets in the middle. We use 2 here. Here's one with 3. Can you see the 3? 1, 2, 3, and it makes the petals wider. And you could put a 4th in there if you're using the 3 petals, and you get a completely different flower. So with these 2 flowers that we have in our repertoire so far, you can put together a nice bouquet. Now the other thing is, what do you do with the ends? Well, you can see here, this doesn't look like the same exact flower. If you had a magic circle, you just pull the one end and the circle will close up. But I didn't do a magic circle. So I have, at this particular time, I have no way of closing this up. But what I'm going to do is get a yarn needle. Before, can you tell which is the front and which is the back? Okay, here's the back. Looks very different than the front. And sometimes you want to use the back, by the way. That'll make another different flower visible, appearance. But this one has a nice end to each petal. See the nice typical crochet loops. So I'm taking the lead, the tail that we started with. That's this one. Okay, this is the one we just knotted off. Now, I hope I don't have any of you knotting off. Oh, this is fun. Lizzie, Scrappin' Lizzie Unicorn, my online sister, honorary, was surprised when she saw me do this. To thread some of the needles, this is very hard to get through some of the needles. All that fraying and that mishigatz that's at the end there. So instead what I do is I take a piece of, I start the, fold the yarn around the needle and pinch it, and then go through the eye of the needle. And I'm not dealing with all this fraying at the end. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the back of the, I'm just going to put the yarn needle through the back of the flower, and here you can see the whole ring of loops that we did the slip stitches through and the double crochets. I'm going to go under those loops. Let's see, I can go this way. See if I remember where we started. That's always important. And it doesn't matter if you go through 6, 7 loops, 5 loops, so long as you go all the way around the circle. You want to go around the circle and bury that tail in that tunnel of loops that go around the chain 6 from the beginning. Go all the way around, all the way around. Ooh, what did I do there? Picked up some of the, oh, I see what I did. Alright, I made a little sloppy there. Well, so go all the way around. Now I forgot where the beginning was, but that's okay. I'll just go through a little extra just for insurance. Now, I went through all of those loops and gently, this is the back again, you see, this is the front. Gently I'm going to pull that tail, and look what happens. The circle closes up as if I used a magic circle. And this is what I get on the other side. Isn't that pretty? And for the tail, I'm going to bring that to the back, not the tail, the end yarn, the end piece. I'm going to bring that through to the back. Just stab it and go through the back. I use my flowers not for anything but crafts. mostly. So the back isn't as important as if this were like a granny square or something that you're going to make a garment or blanket or something like that. Now I want the two ends to be together so I can knot them. See? Now they're together. Make sure that that center hole is closed up. And I'm going to just tie a regular knot twice, double tie it, and that will keep the ends secure, because I use these for crafts, so they are going to be glued on. And even if they aren't, I will put a dab of glue there and sew these on. It depends. So I'm going to leave a little bit of thread showing so it doesn't unravel until I put glue or fray check on it. Now here I am. Isn't this nice? Pretty. So we have 2 flowers so far under our belt for the bouquet, Bootsy's Blossoms, and they really make nice additions. Here's one of the boxes I made, a Bootsy box. You see how nice this shows up on as a decoration? And then you start to combine and put together your flowers. You can use, I have my box of artificial flowers here, a little bit of artificial flowers. I'll pull out some of the leaves. We can use these leaves if we want, you know, whatever your taste is. Put them there. Let me take another one. There. Put that here. See how pretty that's becoming? I'm not going to use these. Well, I could. Let's see. Does this look... Does that go? No, I don't like that. We can put this guy here. This is a pretty one. Put that over there. We could use another leaf. Leave me alone. Please leave me alone. That's the title of a video I was going to make for the fall and never got to it. Okay, goes here. Look at how pretty it's. What do you think so far? And then grab some blingy thingies. We all have our blingy thingies. This is just a little, I just dumped out a few. Sorry for the noise. Sorry for the noise. Well, here's a nice little one. Put that in the middle there. I saw something really shiny in here. I can't see it now. Oh, this is very shiny. It's big, though. I think that's too big. Oh, I don't know. That looks nice. That looks nice. Here's pink and blue. And so on and so forth. Look at how pretty. And you have a nice addition to a Bootsy box. Oh, don't get distracted, Roy. Okay. So, I don't know if I forgot anything this time. I'm making sure that it said start recording when I hit the button, because we could make this a 3rd time if I was not careful. So, I hope you learned something. I hope you got some entertainment out of this. I am not a trained crocheter. I learned from my mom and from myself, and I use my imagination to alter patterns. Not that I don't like following patterns, but most of the time, you know, I'm a kid of the 60s. I broke rules. Well, not as many as you think. Anyway, Thank you for watching. Let me get this out of the way. Thank you for sticking with this. If you like, please subscribe. Please share this with other crafters. Please come back. And most importantly, stay healthy. Stay safe in these days. Stay smart. And bye for now.